Jamie Dornan. When a man is willing to give up everything for his family. Jamie Dornan sat alone by the window of his luxury penthouse in the middle of a brightly lit city. Below, Hollywood was still bustling, with premieres, press conferences, red carpets. Continuing as usual. But in Jamie's heart, it was just a noisy stage that he no longer wanted to step on. He had just completed his third film in 14 months. Directors were praising. Audiences were cheering. Prestigious awards were calling his name. But amid it all, his heart was empty. A terrifying emptiness. This luxury apartment had been the dream of so many people, but for Jamie, it had never been home. His real home was somewhere else, farther away, quieter, where Amelia's laughter was heard, where the tiny hugs of the 3 daughters he loved more than life itself, Dulcie, Elva, and Alberta. That dream of family, once a reality, was now a thing of the past. A past that Jamie had let slip away, because of his career, because of his wrong choices, because of his own silence and stubbornness. The unnamed cracks. Everything began to crack after the pandemic. Jamie buried himself in work as if to escape the fact that he was slowly drifting away from Amelia. The tight shooting schedule, the months away from home, the missed nights reading bedtime stories, all of it accumulated like an invisible wall between him and his family. Amelia, the woman who had patiently waited for him at every end of the journey, began to be silent. No more long calls every night, no more gentle, "miss you," texts. She didn't blame, didn't scream. She just, gradually withdrew. Jamie didn't realize it until he came home early one evening, when he opened the door to the kitchen, and saw Amelia sitting with her 3 children, her eyes soft but distant. It was as if she had learned to live without him, and then, in the fall of 2023, they officially separated. No scandal, no press, just a silent agreement to protect the children. The man WHO lost everything. 2 years passed. Jamie lived in a relentless cycle of work. He thought that if he were more successful, richer, filling his free time with big projects, he would feel okay. But it never came. He tried dating, tried to open up, tried to forget Amelia. But no one could replace her smile when pouring coffee in the morning, or the way she gently pulled the blanket over his shoulders in the middle of the night. The more he tried to forget, the more he missed. His daughter was older now. Dulcie had learned to ask, "Daddy, why don't you come home to Mommy anymore?" He had no answer, and every time he video called his children, their eyes looked at him, both loving and distant, like 1,000 needles piercing his heart. And then, one morning, Jamie woke up, stood in front of the mirror, and looked at his face in the misty mirror. He no longer recognized himself. He, who had once bravely accepted difficult roles, now dared not admit one simple thing: he needed his wife and children more than anything else. Confession to himself, Jamie decided to disappear for a while. He turned down all movie offers. Turned off social media, cut off contact with the entertainment world. He rented a small cabin in Ireland, his homeland, where no one would recognize him as Christian Grey, as the silver screen god. There, he began to wrote letters to Amelia. Not one, but dozens. Didn't send them. Just wrote them. The first letter was an apology for leaving her alone in the marriage he had promised to be with. The second was a memory, the wedding day, the summer afternoon in Notting Hill, the first time they watched their wedding video together and laughed until they cried. The third, fourth, fifth, were wishes. If only I could start over. Every day, he cooked. He practiced writing music. He practiced the piano, something Amelia had taught him in their early days. He called it return to self-therapy. Then one day, he picked up his phone and composed a single text message. If you give me one more chance, not for the past, but for the future, I'm willing to let go of everything. He sent it. His heart pounded like a drum. Amelia and the unlocked door. The response didn't come immediately. A day, 2 days, a week passed. Jamie tried not to despair, but inside there was a storm brewing. And then, on a light rainy afternoon, Amelia called. She didn't say much, just asked, "Can you come pick up the kids this weekend?" Jamie nodded, her voice trembling. "I will." When he reached the front door of his old house in London, Dulcie ran out first. She didn't say anything, just hugged him tightly. Elva stood on tiptoe to touch his cheek, whispering, "Daddy's home, right?" Alberta, the youngest, just grinned. He burst into tears. Amelia stood there, silent. Still her long hair, still her eyes unchanged. She didn't blame, didn't ask. Just said one sentence: "If you can really let go of everything, then start over, little by little." Jamie nodded. No words were enough. Starting again with meals. No romantic reunions, no hugs in the rain, no soothing music. Just evenings with Jamie cooking, her daughter cutting vegetables, Amelia clearing the table. He put all his projects on hold, turned down a blockbuster script about to be shot in New York. He chose to be a full-time father. Take the kids to school, tell bedtime stories, sit down and watch cartoons with the family. Amelia didn't say she loved him back right away. She let him prove it. With presence. With time. With actions. And Jamie did it all. Without fanfare. Without fanfare. 1 month. 2 months. By the 3rd month, during an evening of reviewing old home movies, Amelia turned to him and said softly, "I thought you would never come back, let alone choose to stay." Jamie squeezed her hand, like the first time at their wedding. No words needed. Old home, new hearts. Jamie and Amelia didn't make their reunion public. They didn't speak to the press, didn't share photos on social media. But everyone who knew them, friends, neighbors, relatives, understood, Jamie had changed. He was no longer the Jamie Dornan of the movies, he was Jamie Dornan, the family man. He accepted fewer film offers. He chose projects close to home. He prioritized time with his daughter. Morning tea with Amelia, evening playing the guitar to lull her to sleep. It wasn't a fairy tale. But it was the life he chose, this time, with all his heart, Jamie Dornan once said in a fictional interview. Sometimes you have to lose everything to realize what's important. And when you're lucky enough to get a second chance, grab it with both hands. I did, and I never let go again.